Hi, I'm Oscar Rodriguez. Well, I was. Now I'm just a number. I killed my best friend in a drinking and driving accident. I have type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. But nobody really cares. Not even healthcare. You can't trust anybody in here. Hi, I'm Officer Rodriguez. We get basic CPR skills, and that's about it. But they're inmates, so do they really need healthcare? I mean, come on, they committed crimes. Hi, I'm your nurse. Here's your medication. Oh, you didn't know you were getting medication? Oh, you don't know what they are? Oh, I gotta go. The officers are rushing me and we're really short-staffed. I wish I had more time to tell you what they are. Maybe you could put a H&R request in or something, and we could print out something for you. Gotta go. Bye. Hello, I hope you enjoyed my little skit, a little scenario, if you will. But I thought it would be good to give insight, especially for those who aren't really familiar with the correctional healthcare setting. So I thought it would be wise to give a little of what I would assume what it'd be like for an inmate and an officer, and then what it's like for me on a daily basis as a nurse inside the correctional setting. So the PCOT, I used PCOT to develop my clinical research questions. So obviously the population is inmates or those who are incarcerated. The I for intervention, inmates, I believe, would trust more healthcare workers if we gave more medication, if we gave more education. That's just my thoughts. Of course, there are other layers to this issue, but I feel like education would earn medical staff a lot more respect inside the walls, right? Um, when we compare that, we compare it to how much they trust inmates, how much inmates trust medical staff on the outside, and then we compare that to how much they trust medical staff on the inside. And the outcome, obviously, would be hopefully that with more education, inmates would trust or respect medical staff more on the inside. T's for time, data from recent years. This is not a topic that's been researched a lot. However, I was able to find a few articles on my topic. So the most useful one was in 2005. Again, I'm assuming that it's not really researched very much because they're inmates. I don't know. That's just my assumption. I don't know how true that is or not. Weisskopf in 2005. The gist of that article, the conclusion was education equals better health reaction. That's a big one, obviously, right, for me and my clinical questions. So if we just take the time to educate these inmates, then we can help them with their health issues and get more trust from these inmates. Lambert et al., 2020, medical staff were short. Nobody graduates nursing school and wants to work at a prison. Nobody runs to that job, right? So partly when they do, it's a hostile environment and it's not meant for everybody. And so therefore we have huge turnover rates. So that's obviously an issue, and that's one of the issues of why we don't have time to educate is because of that. So we're short-staffed. The last article that I found that was in my literature review that was helpful, Davil and Hurst reminds us, all medical staff, that we are a guest in DOC. We're a guest in Department of Corrections, no matter what correctional setting you go to. You're a guest. So that equals barriers. If there's a lockdown, if there's a riot, you can't do anything. So sometimes the inmate patients don't get their medication, they don't get their wound changes, and all we can do is document as to what had happened. And it also concluded with that caring equals quality of care. I interpreted that word of caring as into education. If we're educating our patients, then that shows that we really care, right? So I also believe that would help in the trust issue as well. Um, how would I intend? What would be my change? My change, obviously, in the perfect world, would be to get more staff. Staff with DOC, staff with medical staff, just in general, more staff so that we can have more time educating these inmates. Um, Another one was hold classes. These inmate patients have access to their GED classes and some college courses. So why aren't we educating them in a classroom setting? For example, on diabetes, hypertension, disease processes, and those two are the most that I have seen in my correctional and nursing career. And finally, nutrition. Maybe once a week, maybe every other month, once a month. I don't know. We'd have to see, right? But I'm pretty sure that um, these inmate patients would be interested in going and learning a little bit more about it. Nutritionists coming in and looking at DOC's menu, if you will. Arizona does not offer an ADA diet or a cardiac diet. Why is this? I don't know. There are specialty diets around this. However, I've also worked in California where there is literally an ADA diet and a cardiac diet. And I feel like for type 1 diabetics, that's really important for them. The theoretical model that I would use would be the phenomenological research. This, as the textbook Gray et al. States, investigates everyday experiences of humans. However, the only issue I have with this type of research is that me as a researcher, would have to suspend any assumptions, so any biases that I already have. So that would be difficult for me. But for the sake of the issue, I think I could put my my views aside for that method. Internal evidence, well, I was planning on using my experiences, but if I'm going to use the phenomenological research, then obviously I would have to out those. I would interview inmates, I would interview nurses, and I would interview DOC and just pretend that I didn't know anything and just start from scratch. And so that's what I would use. Ethical considerations. Well, I'm pretty sure staff that goes for DOC and healthcare might fear retaliation. Inmates might feel like their safety. They might feel endangered if they speak the truth. I don't know. So that would be interesting. And then HIPAA. Um, if inmates had to share medical information, probably have to get a release of information from them that it's okay for them to share or that we would not be sharing. Again, they would have to be able to trust us, right? How I would evaluate the outcomes, again, interview staff, inmates, look at any lawsuit reports, if that's even available. On a medical standpoint side, I know that those happen all the time. Some go nowhere, and some make an impact in how we provide care. So I would look at that as well. I don't think I would have to interview DOC for the evaluation, or maybe I should. I don't know, just to include it, since I did interview them with the internal evidence side point. How would I disseminate my information? I would write an article, I would provide lectures, and I would attend conferences. I would literally spread the word. I would go into prisons or jails or any correctional setting and teach and educate other healthcare staff members like myself. And yeah. So I hope you liked my little scenario. I really enjoyed this class, and it really opened my eyes to the different forms of research. So thank you very much. And that is it for the video. Thank you.